Hey guys, Elite Legionario here. Today I'm bringing you a 6-player free-for-all for Rome Total War. In this one I shall command the Julli and be facing off against Mabo Magic, who is Carthage, James 018, who is the Greek city-states, Lionheart, who is Parthia, Jim Moriarty, who is Macedon, who I had to drop, and Lucia 1989, who is the Seleucid Empire. But I had to drop the Greek and the Macedonian. The Macedonian right away and the Greek sort of halfway through. So anyway, my army consists of 5 units of gold early legionary cohorts, so I haven't got the greatest infantry, but I thought it'd be fun to use them. I have 5 units of gold attack regular Roman archers, and the power of my force is 5 units of gold Praetorian cavalry, to make up for the fact that my infantry is not the strongest. Carthage, who I originally wanted to go for the Seleucids, but they deployed so far away. Everyone's sort of deployed out here. As you can see, Carthage and Parthia are going to get into battle pretty much straight away. So looks like these wedge charges are coming in, and that's a very good way to deal with cataphracts, with wedge charge. Their morales will be more flighty that way for some reason. As you can see, they break, but there is a slight hill edge here, ever so slight. So here, here's a good move by Lionheart to attempt to surround, and he's bringing in camels. Now that is a good move, because that will cause those, as you can see, look at that, the instant the camels arrived, these Sacred Band Cav have just pretty much given in instantly. And he's going to get these guys out, and he's going to go in for the archers, but these camels are going to just devastate him. That action got going so quickly that I couldn't really outline the armies, but it looks like there's a huge force of, well, he's got 2 units of massively upgraded Sacred Bands and then several non-upgraded. That's not actually too bad an idea, because Sacred Band is so strong as it is, that the 2 upgraded ones could, you could do like a marathon, Battle of Marathon trick, and you could take out the flanks of an army with 2 heavily upgraded, while the central army holds, the standard units hold in the middle, and you destroy the flanks and you wrap them up through the centre, like what they did at the Battle of Marathon. That would be actually something I should try sometime. But the Greek player was retreating, but I'm not sure why he was retreating. He could have got right in on the action here, and it would have been a big. If he'd got in on the action, I would have got on the action in a big 4-player chaotic free-for-all. But he did retreat, but it became. I had to drop him because he had connection problems, so it became a CPU, so it's going to come in now. So over here, the Seleucid player's got an easy battle. It's just a CPU. Macedon had to be dropped immediately because it just wasn't going anywhere. And yeah, Macedon's going to get pretty cleaned out, and I don't even know if the Macedonian player, what they had for infantry, if had any. It doesn't look like they actually had any infantry. It looks like they just had cavalry or something and archers. Interesting. But the Seleucid player is going to clean him out pretty easily with that CPU, so that's not really going to be a big deal. So here's a big strike on these Balearic slingers of all the Eastern infantry. Eastern infantry are obviously crap, terrible infantry, but they can be useful for stalling and screening and basically just protecting archers and things like that, pillar shields, that kind of thing, so they're not without their uses. So now the Sacred Band sort of all isolated and alone, but now he's got to deal with the Greek player, or the Greek CPU as it were, and I'm very tempted to start shooting at the flanks. I was getting bored waiting, and I know it's a scored game, so I need to get into the action, so I'm moving my men up to get into it. But this was a bit of there's the Macedonian general. It was a bit of an unfortunate battle in a lot of ways, and because I had to drop 2 people and so much of the action sort of just took place here, and not everyone sort of got an immediate fight. These Sacred Band are presenting really too much of an opportunity, and I need kills, so I'm going to start flank firing on them. I mean, I was probably peeing this guy off considerably, although he never said anything, so he wasn't too perturbed. But I just needed to, because otherwise I'm not going to get anywhere. A little hail of arrows coming down, boom, boom, boom. That looked pretty cool, actually. So these are good fights, Spartans versus Sacred Band. That's always very pretty even. Although Spartans should technically win it because they are stronger of the two. The Sacred Band can certainly put up a very good fight against Spartans by any stretch. But they are getting a whole lot of arrows in the flank as well, so... actually no, I think I stopped firing on them at that point. I didn't want to be totally douchey. And I just threw my peeler, and it was really... I don't know if they'll do it now or if they've already done it, but it was really annoying, all these armoured hoplites firing. And look, yeah, they're going to do it. Look at this. Look, they ignore the armoured hoplites and fire into the routing eastern infantry. My god, did that annoy me. I just thought they'd automatically shoot these guys because they're closest, but man, that was annoying. There's a waste of peeler. They'll get a few of them here, I think, but I mean, that was a total waste of peeler. So now I've got to worry about the Seleucid player coming after me too, so I want to try and get some of these guys. So I start shooting at the Greek archers, basically. But I mean, I've got pretty weak infantry. The only infantry that was weaker than me in this fight were these eastern infantry, because the Silver Shield pikemen over here are better, and the Silver Shield legionnaires are better as well. Of course, Spartans and Sacred Band are a lot better, but I do have a hill advantage, a slight one. But I'm just using it to destroy the Greek guy. Get as many of his kills before the Seleucid player gets there, because I need 2 men to face him. So I'll turn the peeler on and I'll get a lot of kills here. And here goes, I think, the Greek general. So they just went down to, look at that, they went down to like, all those volleys of peeler just took that, look, they just routed it. I mean, 2 units of early legionary cohort just routed armoured hoplites through just peeler alone. That was pretty sweet. And these dudes will face these guys here. This is why I think it's essential you should always have a peeler shield. I mean, just look at that. Alone, those units lost heaps. And these are only early legionary cohorts, which are not that good. Well, no match for any Greek infantry. So I'm going to charge these Spartans. Obviously, I will not win this. But I've got Cav in there as well, so I'll get rid of them pretty quickly. I think early legionary cohorts are good. They would be, I'd say Caesar's legions would look pretty much exactly like this. Chainmail. They are a really good representation of what legionnaires would look like in the earlier stage around Caesar's time. So anyway, I rout those Spartans. And I think I just decided to leave the rest of Greece to Carthage and Parthia, Parthia made a tactical withdrawal. I think he had like 6 cataphracts and a couple of Persian cav and a hell heap of archers and obviously eastern infantry. It was his army. It sort of got going so quickly I couldn't outline it, but I'm pretty sure that was what he had. So now Parthia's on the way, and I'm going to show you a big blunder I make in a moment. And this is something you should never do. And I usually don't do this, but I do it today. So, well, in this fight I do. You're going to see what I do here. I see his cav so far away, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around up here and boom down onto his archers with all my cav, and I basically leave my archers undefended. And this Seleucid cavalry actually does get in there and take a lot of my archers out because of the stupidity of it. I was figuring that Parthia wouldn't attack me because there's too much Greek stuff in the way, and I was okay to do that. But another thing too is my infantry are actually quite tired. They're at winded stage, whereas his infantry are actually fresh. So there's another thing too that goes against me. I mean, his cavalry is, let's see, looks to be 2 cataphracts, which is silver, and I think it's 3 silver companions. So he's you know, like my cavalry would obviously beat his in a cavalry fight now. But you'll see the blunder I make. It's quite shocking actually. I was so content on catching him that I actually semi-fell into a bad move, basically. I'm not sure if he was intentionally trying to do it. I did get a few of his silver shields here, which I was aiming for, so that was sweet as. I took about 30 of them, 25 of them. But my cavalry's all the way out here, and he's just going to block them with his infantry, and my infantry's too tired to keep up. He sees it, you see, so this was a really bad move on my part, and he's going to be able to get a lot of these archers just with this companion unit, these two companions. And I do believe I'd see it, but I mean, not very well. And of course he's got legionnaires in here supporting, so my infantry's just too slow and tired, and that's a bad move I made then. So it's going to cost me a lot of archers. But I'm hoping at least he'll get bogged down on my archers and I can use my infantry to destroy him. At the least, destroy these cavalry units. But I mean, I'm going to lose like half my archers just because of poor moves like that. So I'm going to bring these dudes in, but look at this, half my archer force is gone. Fortunately, a lot of it does come back, but he's going to get out of it, and I was pretty, seeding at the time. Fortunately, when my cavalry are close, rather, he did rout. But I was pretty annoyed, because, I mean, I lost way too many archers into a stupid move like that. But I am going to catch quite a lot of these companion cavalry. And he's going to try and get a hill advantage, which is a clever move. And I mean, I don't know why they're so tired. They're tired, and even some of them are even winded and getting close to exhausted. They haven't even done anything much, really. It's kind of annoying. So here I get his companions. So I'm hoping to sort of outposition him a little bit. My men are getting really tired really fast. I don't know why. It's annoying. So yeah, that was a good chunk of archers that routed there. And of course I got this Greek unit coming in. So he's going to try to do another one, but that's fine. It won't work. And unfortunately most of my pila were actually expended over here, believe it or not, annoyingly. I didn't really think about that. I should have. And I'm going to hopefully bog these two guys down with my infantry. That's the hope, and what I was hoping to do anyway. Now I'll use these three cavalry units to deal with these cavalry out here, and then I'm going to come in with this cavalry and this cavalry here and totally do an ensnaring type thing. So here I'm going to get him here, and for some reason my man stopped, which wasn't good, so I'm going to go round and get behind him and encircle him. So it should kill his cataphracts. So here, as you can see, I came from both ways with my cavalry, and it will rout the Silver Shield Legionnaires. But his Silver Shield Pikemen are going to absolutely munch through my early Legionary cohorts. If I had Legionary cohorts, I would have won this, but the early Legionary cohorts is pushing it. So here I'm going to get into his archers, but the sheer actual weight of these archers is going to slow me down a real heap. But now I'm going to get a big rout on his archers, and I'm going to come into the back, but I'm pretty slowed down here, so this isn't going to work that great. But I'm going to play out of this, I'm not going to stay in it, because I realise just how poorly it's working. And here I get a charge on his silver shields, but I get a side charge, so I should have been working for a flank one there. So here I see his legionnaires are coming in, so I'm going to come in and finish them off with a charge. I should have gone to wedge there, that would have done a better job of that, I think. And now he turns some men around, or at least it looks like they are, but it doesn't really matter because not enough of them are going to do it, so that causes a rout there, and this unit should follow any moment now. Wavering, shaken, and wow, they're staying a lot there. No, whoa, it's still in there. Look at that. Yeah, I destroyed it, that's why. So I mean, my infantry just didn't have the power to go after his infantry. But I did get rid of the rest of his stuff. And my cavalry did a lot of good work this time. And that routs them. And most of my archers actually did regroup. And now there's all these Spartans here, which are... See, here's a glitch. annoying glitch. This one's like, they'll either go backwards or sideways. Looks like they're forming up for a backwards glitch. Very, very annoying. So I'm just using my cav to run down. So aside from my blunder with my archers there, that was actually pretty good. I mean, look at this. This is such a stupid glitch. I hate it. I mean, look at this. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's really frustrating. I mean, that's just not fair. But I mean, my early legionary cohorts are actually no match with Silver Shield Pikemen or Silver Shield Legionnaires. So, which is why I needed to win that care fight. But I mean, I wanted to just go. I got quite overzealous there with my archers, but I didn't actually lose that many. I lost a few, just caused a big rout of them, but they all came back. But I killed his cavalry much quicker. So I'm just sort of reforming up here. So over here, the rest of the Greek CPU was wiped out by the Parthian. Lionheart, as to be expected. So I'm going to triple speed it, guys, while I reform. And we'll just quickly rout that last Spartan unit. Now, I should not have let this happen either. I should let it get away. I don't know why I did that either. So I don't know what wasn't really thinking that much when I was doing this. If I remember, I was actually distracted because I had some other stuff I was thinking about. So I was semi-distracted in this fight. So I'm just going to form up and move my men up to finish off the remainder of Lionheart, the Parthian. Well, my men are all fairly exhausted by this point, and pretty depleted for that matter. So it's kind of fun using early legionary cohorts. I could have bought better infantry, but I thought it'd be fun. I like tossing them in there. I like the challenge of using weakened units. But I also knew that if I had early legionary cohorts, I'd have to have Praetorian Cav to be sure that I'd win. And you're probably wondering why I went to Wedge then. Basically, I'm just experimenting with Wedge at the moment, seeing where it works good and where it doesn't work good. It works well against cataphracts though. It seems to improve inferior Cav's chance of damaging them or winning against them when they're in Wedge. Interesting. From what I've managed to glean from it, is the extra charge shock value of it actually works against it, because cataphracts actually don't have that great a morale, especially when they're tired. So here he brings his cataphracts in to kill some of my archers again, but I'll catch them. Or his general unit will slip through, but it's going to get stuck, so I will rout his cavalry right away. And I did a couple of battles against this guy, and he was pretty good, and he was friendly too, so I managed to destroy him pretty much. So I'm just going to triple speed while I run down the rest of his men. But this wasn't really that great a fight, because I had to drop two, and it was sort of all over the place in a lot of ways. But this was the Praetorian Cavs day, but I suspected it would be. All I wanted my early legionary cohort to do was stall. And it's about to come to an end, and I'll just go normal speed. But yeah, but aside from that blunder with not protecting my archers the best there, that was a pretty good fight. I had 1,076 men, I got 1,773 kills, and I had 626 men remaining. Lucia had 1,357 men, we had 1,053 kills and he had 114 men remaining. Of course, Jim Moriarty, who I had to drop, basically he had to drop in the instant we started, he had 695, he had 101 men. 1 kills, or CPU did that for him. Lionheart had 1,633 men, he got 818 kills and 172 left. James 018 had 1,014 men, that's CPU as well, he got 933 kills and 64 men remaining. And Mabo Magic had 837 men, he got 750 kills and 76 men remaining. There's the statistics. Obviously my Praetorian Cavalry got all the majority of the kills, all of them over 100, with only about, or at least having half strength left, a wee bit more even. Early legionary cohort, 96 for this one. That one did good. But most of them sort of came off. They didn't do bad. I think they did pretty good considering up against armoured hoplites and silver shields and silver shield legionnaires, which are better. Now, I just got quite a few, but although I made that bit of a blunder with them. But anyway, good game to Uchia, 1989. Lionheart and Mabo Magic, the other two guys had to be dropped out. So yeah, it's a great game to you guys. Thanks for playing. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you soon next time.